What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing like cloth cape kind of like stuff with the graph editor, okay? And I think it's a great opportunity to kind of like dive into the graph editor some more. I will probably be doing another video dedicated to the graph editor, but anyways, I wanted to show like a quick like cape animation thing, okay? We're using the Link rig here. He's got a great cape on him, okay? There's not a whole ton of characters that have awesome capes, but he does, because Link has everything. He is like a prime human being. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with the cape, right? And pull that up like this, like we can. Maybe we can just keep this down like this. Maybe we can get some waving action in this too. In fact, let's just actually pull that back up. So first thing we're going to do is grab all the cape controls and press S, right? Get us a first frame here, okay? So honestly, this is not much different than a tail wag. Honestly, guys, like I have another tail wag video, and it's honestly not much different than a tail wag. How I would go about doing it, okay? The cool thing is once we get the like main cape flowing down, we can do like variations using the layer system, okay? So 20 here, looks like I got -2 here, so I'm gonna put 0 here like this. Let me adjust my video size so you guys can follow better. There we go. Okay, it's on frame 0 there. Okay, so anyway, so we've got our cape going, right? Maybe we want just a little bit more movement than that. We can make it a little bit more movement, but make sure you grab all of the controls, okay? And like you're going up and then back down, okay? All the controls are going the same way. Don't build in, with the way I do it, don't build in that overlap yourself, okay? Don't do it that way. Do it so that all the controls are going up, all the controls are going back down. Especially in this kind of cape setup where there's only 3 different sections, okay? There's a lot of like setups that have 3 different layers, like the first like parent, the first base here, right? Then the middle, and then the end. That's a perfect scenario for like some graph editor trickery and easy stuff, okay? The next thing we're going to do actually is it's down, so we're going to pull it down, okay? Because we want to definitely get some translation in the cape, okay? We're going to copy and paste the first frame to the last frame, and then on this here we're going to pull this up to get some upward, okay? Just like that. And here's our cape flowing in the wind, right? Looks pretty terrible. So let's go ahead and go into our graph editor here. Go ahead and hit the save button so I don't completely lose everything. So on this first one, we are going to first do the translate, okay? Make sure we have object mode selected, and there we go. Okay, so we're gonna first manipulate our translate, okay? Grab the y-axis here, over here, and it grabs all of the controls y-axis, okay? I mean this first base layer, okay? And then we're gonna pull those peaks and valleys before the keyframe, okay? On the translation, okay? We're gonna look at the translation, the rotation after, but for right now, we wanted to just kind of go up and down, and that'll give us a lot of stuff, okay? So the reason I am pulling the graph editor, just a little graph editor knowledge here, well, I'll show what I mean after I've already done it. Oh, looks like we don't want the Y. What do we want? The X, maybe? X. Looks like we want the X. So grab all the X's here by highlighting that, and then put the peaks and valleys before. So they're going up. So here's the keyframe, right? The keyframe right here is that like where I put the key, and now I'm telling, instead of reaching your highest point or the key, instead of reaching the keyframe that I set right here, it's now going to reach it right here, right? Because if we press back, like that's now right there where I put the keyframe. But if I pull it and make it so the valley is before, Now I'm telling the keyframe that it needs to be right here instead. But the keyframe is just over here. And this is essentially the same thing as me going like this. Just grabbing everything and just pulling it over, right? Same kind of thing. And then like setting a keyframe here, setting a keyframe here, and then pulling that down like this. And that's essentially doing the same thing as if I was just offsetting it anyway. So I am now just doing that in the graph editor and pulling that valley before the peak here and the valley before the keyframes, okay? And that's going to give me this, okay? And this only works if the chain goes down, right? If it's a base and then the two children under it and then the final are the children. So now let's build in the other one, okay? The end controls, okay? And we're going to pull those after because we want the peaks and valley to come after the keyframe we sent. We want the keyframes to be here now instead of here, okay? So this is the kind of motion we get. That's okay, right? Maybe we want to push like make this just a little bit less because it is kind of a big movement for everything. Let's make sure that we do this and then do this. For some reason, it's not liking me, so I'll just manually choose everything. Okay, maybe we can go like this and make that a little bit less. Okay, and then we can emphasize this more. Translate Z here. Whoop. Translate X, sorry. And then we can emphasize, oh, looks like we forgot one. Let's see which one we forgot. That one right there. We want peak and valley to come after. Okay, like this. Okay. And so now what we want to do is we can emphasize those. Okay. So they're doing more. Scratch that. For some reason it's going out and in. And I thought it was going up and down. Because the base ones were. Okay, now these are up and down. Sorry about that, guys. Well, it gives us some fun cape in like back and forth cape movement too. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And I think maybe let's just verify that the X is the up and down here. Okay, it is. Okay, so we got this movement, right? And we can maybe even push that just a little bit farther. You know, before we do that, let's go ahead and grab the looks like the Z rotation, okay? Z right here. And let's pull those peaks and valleys after. Oh, looks like we have some keyframes that we need to get rid of after. Okay, just like that. And then we can grab these controls. I'm not touching the mid controls because if we look at these, and they're like you're telling the peaks and valleys to come before the keyframe on the base, and then leaving the mid ones there. So the keyframes are hitting here on the base, the mids are hitting here for the like where you set the keys, and the end frames are hitting here. Okay, let me see if I can explain that a little bit better. Let's see. The X here, and then let's go to this and choose the X there. So you're telling the keyframe to hit like right here. You're telling it to hit right here for the keyframe that you set. And this one is hitting right where it's supposed to, and then on this one, it's hitting after, okay? So you got this nice like overlap, you got this nice like it's coming before, and then the overlap is coming after, and it's creating like an S, if that makes sense at all. I'm kind of being confusing here. So let's go ahead and push these as well. Oops. Maybe we can make these, emphasize these just a little bit more as well. Okay. All right. And if nothing else, we can always just build in our overlap, okay? Maybe we can have this translate here come before also on the translate, but the rotate stays where it's at. Okay. Since this is attached to his body, it's going to like maybe not do it as much. Okay. And then on the translate, on these translates, we can make them bigger. So they're offsetting the mid controls more. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that wind blowing in that cape. Okay. So, we're doing this here, and then maybe we can get the rotation to be punched a bit here on the cape. Okay. That's a little bit much rotation. So let's go ahead and grab this, see if we want to have this rotation be punched a little bit more. Okay, punch up this rotation like this, then go like this, and then, and since we made the it come before, let's go ahead and do this right here on this one. Okay. So let's just say we got our base movement here, okay? That's our base movement. We got it feeling really good. This feels like it's flapping in the wind, okay? So now let's go jump over to and make a new layer, okay? Make sure we grab all of our controls here, just like this. And then we make a new layer. This one here adds a layer with everything that's selected, okay? So, let's go ahead and, since we have all these controls grabbed, let's go ahead and copy and paste. So copy, okay, drag down. Let's make 60 frames, okay. You're gonna make 3 loops of the cape blowing. Paste, okay, and then go down some more and then paste. What that's gonna do is that it's going to give us 3. That is going to give us 3 loops, okay? And that will ultimately give us a lot of room to work with this cape. So, something we can do when we have this cape, since it's a layer system, right? We have our base going, our base like movement going, and then we can add in some variations by, you know, just grabbing all of them, going like this. Okay? And then maybe on the way down, it goes like this. And then we can like press S here since we like that, and then it can do like a quick little flurry. Maybe over to this side and then turn a little bit. And then go to this side and turn this way, maybe. Okay. And then it can return back. Okay. I'm saying K a lot. I'm going to try not to do that. But as you can see now, we've got like this nice little like exchange and little flurry of our cape. Okay, so since we're doing these kind of flurries and like these kind of things in our cape movement here, we can go ahead and take our frames and we can offset them. Okay, and say we want for all those flurries, it needs to like wave, right? So all we need to do is actually let's grab these base ones. Let's pull them a couple frames before, okay, and then grab these end ones and pull them a couple frames after, okay. And it's going to give us some nice little overlap on everything. So I want there to be more overlap, so I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to rotate it over like this. Okay. Rotate it over like this. Maybe it pulls down a bit more here. And then it's going to overlap this way. I really like how this is working. I'm going to rotate it down now. Have this come later, okay, because right now it's rotating back up right here. So I'm going to delete that so it rotates up later. And then maybe I can switch this up right here and have it come this way. So that right here I can have it blow this way. Okay. There's not enough overlap right here, quite enough overlap here. So we need to build that in there like that. Okay. And then we can push this a little bit farther. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. I really like how the cape is looking. Okay. And then we can rotate this down like this. And then we can probably also grab all these three here and we can pull them forward like 3 frames as well. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks really fun and nice, right? And it's just some quick like cloth simulation, right? Nothing fancy, but it gets like our like point across. Okay, it gets our point across of like like wind flapping in the cape. And this is just a simple example. You can do so much more with this like this exercise, and like getting this base cape movement here, because that looks like wind flowing through there. And so once we turn on our base layer, or our like next layer, we get like breezes of wind flowing in the cape. And that is how simple it is to animate wind going through a cape. And you can add some more onto this and make it so it's like more believable if you want. Pull this way. It comes back here, and this will rotate this way, like this. But you have flurries of wind going. And you can copy and paste that loop right here of all 3 of these, all the base here and here like this. You can copy and paste that again to 120 frames. You know, take the 60 frames, copy and paste that, and then you can turn this layer on, copy and paste all of that, and then you can get even more flurries and more flourishes, right? And by the time you get done with your animation, say Link was like trying to push his way through the wind, right? And he's like walking. Maybe I'll do walk cycle for that too. Like he's pushing his way through the wind, right? And it's like coming down really hard, and the wind and the rain and everything. And you want to get some like nice cape stuff, but like you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do so much animating. No, you don't. Just add it onto a separate layer and then build that main cape movement, and then add some flurries in there and flourishes, and like you get really quick results on doing it that way. That will be really fast and get you what you want. Okay. And then like after that, you can bake the animation down, and then if you want to take it a step further on add more flourishes and flurries, so it's like not looking so like the same, if you did it that way, then you can add even more onto that after you bake down the animation. Okay. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please go watch my other content. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you so much for your continued support. As always, I have my Discord channel. Please come leave your shots. Also, please leave feedback for other animators so that we can keep growing and awesome stuff. Please leave comments for any videos you want to see for the future. Go check out my other channel. Go check out my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And keep building up this awesome community. Thanks, guys. Happy animating.